What's going on, profiteers? Hope all is well. Another episode of Combos with the CFP, Mario Payne, and beautiful Florida. And man, before we start again, always like, subscribe, share to our channel, Painful Profits, on YouTube, on Instagram, Painful Profits as well. Love your support. Also, we have a chance, definitely check out our app, Let Bob, Letbob, the first black-owned investment app ever. So it's pretty cool, man. Let Bob help you from an investment standpoint. Or if you do it yourself, you can check out our ETF that's actually on the New York Stock Exchange, LETB. Larry Echo Tango Bravo, Let B. We beat the market last year, and this year, doing pretty good. So check us out. But y'all see me, I got my velvet on, man. I'm kind of, dressed to impress. The reason why, me and the wifey, man, every other Friday we like to do date night. We always like to enjoy ourselves. We're blessed to have family here in town. So, they babysit our beautiful daughter. But it's good to have some grown-up fun. It's Cinco de Mayo. We did not get to celebrate like we wanted to because the places we went to were packed like a mug. But we were able to see a pretty cool play. And it's called New Jack City. Living just enough for the city. I'm living. It came out when I was 10, or 9. Came out when I was 9. And my parents, they love that movie. You think about the 90s, a little different than now. Now, you can watch information or entertainment, period, on your phone. You can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on the TV. But back in the 90s, which was us in Cincinnati, the middle class household, we just had one really TV downstairs. And whatever the parents wanted to watch, they watched. And we had a VCR, and that VCR played some New Jack City. Actually, when I was at the play, I texted my mom, and I was like, I know every single word of New Jack City because of we watched it when we was young. And she was like, I actually saw it last week. She lives in Vegas, so she's going to check out the play when they come to Vegas in a few weeks, which is kind of funny, man. So, but yeah, man, so memories, right? Made me think, though. New Jack City came out in 1991. Now, of course, in 1991, most individuals wasn't familiar with the stock market, heard about the stock market, but just with information, with technology, we have a lot more information at our fingertips today than we did back in the 90s. But it made me think, though, right? If we invested in 1991, what would have happened? In 91, they had some economic troubles, right? The 90s were slowly but surely, slow growth in the 90s, right? We can kind of say right now we're slow growth. The market is down. Well, not this year, but we're still, quote unquote, in the bear market compared to our highs of November 2021. We're about S&P wise about 11% getting back to where we were. So we're not there yet, but just economically, a lot of tension. We had the Gulf War, of course. That was fun, of course. Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was in Operation Enduring Freedom. So a lot of stuff just happened in the 90s. And we're kind of there now, right? So I want to kind of go over what was going on in the 90s from a stock market standpoint, how that relates to New Jack City, and if we invested and just kind of let things go because long-term investing is the wave, how we would have made some money from an investment standpoint. But let's look at the charts below. First off, New Jack City. We had Wesley. Wesley was running up the bag, man. That's when Wesley was making the money to be in the tax trouble he was in. We had Mario Van Peebles. He was actually part of the cast, man. It's interesting, man. I think he's vegan, and man, he looked young, boy. We had Ice-T. Ice-T had that favorite song, F the Police, right? And now he plays the police, which is crazy. He made a career being the police, right? With Ice-T. Chris Rock with Pookie. Man, go Chris Rock, man. One of his great role. Great role. Alan Payne was G Money, and Alan Payne actually played in the movie, which is pretty interesting. And then, of course, Judd Nelson as Nick, the detective. So it's pretty cool. But let's look at this, right? The stock market since 1991. This is a return on investment of 2.311.59 or 2,311%, which equates to about 10.43 a year, right? So 10% a year, right? You think about the rule of 72 from a return standpoint, that's about 6.5 years of doubling your money. Don't know about you, but double my money every 6.5 years, pretty cool, right? The lump sum investment beats inflation during the period for an inflation adjusted return of 988% or about 7.72. So even after we talk about inflation, after inflation, you still made 7.72. Rule of 72, you doubled your money in 9 years. Pretty good even after inflation, right? So you think about all the craziness that happened in the 90s between wars, different presidents, presidential scandals, kind of like we're going through now, of course, right? The 2000s, 2010, 2020, making 10% a year is pretty good. Shows long-term investors wave. Companies do good, companies do bad. Companies that was rocking and rolling in the 90s, like Intel, like IBM, not the best companies today. New companies emerge, but just being disciplined, investing in the index and having your money grow over time is the way to go. But let's look at this though, right? The dollar from 91 to 2023, right? $1 in 91 is equivalent purchasing power of $2.22 today, right? So a dollar then, $2.22 today. Inflation is very important. If our money doesn't grow from an investment standpoint, we lose money. Losing money is not fun. Now with inflation, you don't see it. It's not like you go to your bank account, you got $100, now you got 80. It just takes more money to spend to pay for the same things. So if your money went from $1 to $2.22 over that time period from 91 to 2023, you compare that to the market where you would have basically quadrupled your money. I think it shows investing is always good. Now it's uncertainty. We don't know when the market's going to go up or down on a day-to-day basis, but over time, the market goes up. And as we can see, right? So that's a cumulative price increase of 121.61. And then, of course, we compare that to the market that was at 2,300. So what's better, 121% or 2,311%? I'll let y'all decide. And then inflation, right? As we can see, inflation basically was 2.5% a year. So 2.5% a year inflation, the market making 10%, 8% difference on 100 grand. I make $8,000 more over time. Pretty good. So it just shows over time, long-term investing is the wave. You think about all our favorite movies that came out in the 90s, in the 2000s, right? Just each time we invested money and just let it grow, over time your money goes up. So in totality, great play. Tretch was in it, very impressed with the cast, man. They were singing, they were dancing a little bit, a little rapping there as well, but just a great put together play, man. Whoever created the play, great job. They definitely did the movie justice. Sometimes you look at a play like, man, this ain't cool, but between the actors, between the plot, basically was the same movie, but in play form, because they said all the words pretty cool. So my wife was like, man, you know all the words. Like, yeah, hey, I probably watched the movie about 100 times, right? No indiction of my parents. They were great parents, right? But yeah, definitely, saw the movie a lot. But I had a great time. But I wanted to show this. Over time, investing is the wave. You might get discouraged a year like this year, right? Market was up for a few months. Damn, we had a horrible day yesterday, a great day today. But you don't know on a day-to-day basis what you're going to do from an investment standpoint. If it's going to go up or down. We do know over 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, in this case, 30 years, you're going to make money. And just think about if you had just $100,000 and close your eyes. And 30 years later, you look up. That's a bag. Just think about if you was putting money in $5 a week, $5 a month, every single month for the last 30 years. You would have had a bigger bag. You would have been a millionaire plus. So it just says and shows long-term investing is the wave. New Jack City to play. Great. A-rated. Invest in the stock market. A+ rated. But I hope that helps, man. As always, long-term investing is the wave. Y'all see me with this velvet on, man, looking crisp. But as always, stay healthy, be blessed. Let's make some paper profits together, y'all. Peace.
just wanna get paid. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, pay for profits to help you seek change. And you just wanna get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Pay for profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours can get you a better living. Bitch at the check, you knowing it could be different.